Good evening. Aaron El Shabazz, Somerset, New Jersey. I was here on 2 other occasions where I handed complaints to the council dealing with complaints against Community Liaison, Gate, and Hearing Officer Hoffman. At the last meeting I was at, I believe Council President told me you would have an answer for me regarding the status of my complaint. So I'm here to find out what's going on.
The status, I don't know if it's the specific status of your complaint, but yes, Mr. Hamilton, you can answer that. Yes.
Well, if it's a complaint styled about an ethics matter, that's been referred to the ethics board. They appointed a subcommittee that will, I hope shortly, report back to the full committee.
Do we know when? Can we find out how?
Excuse me.
I spoke today to the chair of the committee. He has not heard from the subcommittee. And he will call me as soon as he is done from the subcommittee, which consists of Thomas Addy and Robin Boyd.
Okay, so when does the Ethics Commission board meets again?
They are meeting on Friday night, but it is for the other matter that is pending, the Cradaville versus Buchan matter.
So if I may, in that meeting, if they could discuss a deadline for if they could give you a timeline to meet with
I'm sure we'll have one.
If you could give us that information so we could pass it with Mr. Shabazz, because I want to start working with deadlines.
Excuse me.
Yes,
We've already been through this twice before, so we keep playing games here. We discussed this, he interjected with the same comment at the first meeting I was at, and then I explained that the council established the Community Liaison Office, therefore the council has all authority to make any changes, as well as to discipline the Community Liaison Officer. The council acknowledged that I was correct at both meetings. So he keeps bringing that up each time, playing these games, and we've already went past that. The council acknowledged you have the authority to discipline her, and you told me you would have an answer for me the next time I came here.
The council approved the appointment of the Community Liaison Officer, and the council approved the plan that was set forth by the mayor. So we approved that. So that's our extent. We approved the appointment, and we approved the plan to the protocol that has. At this time, I was advised that we are, at least I am not able to talk too much details about anything related to the community liaison procedures, protocol, and so forth because of litigation pending with the city, right?
Well, I'd like to say this, Madam Council President. The matter was styled as an ethics complaint. Now, Mr. Shabazz apparently doesn't like that, but that under state law, under our ordinance, ethics matters go to the ethics board, and you will not hear ethics matters.
But we do have, we could hear the matter, you know, in terms of the protocol and in terms of the community liaison officer position, we approve those.
Yes.
Yes, right? So that's why he's asking the questions.
Exactly.
So,
I'm saying the protocols were violated, so how can the ethics committee make a determination on whether or not the protocols are violated?
Mr. Shabazz, I'm trying to, so Mr. Hamilton, I know that I was advising that I'm not, you know, we're not able to talk much about it because of the litigation that is at this point from both sides. So what would be, what can we do in the sense the ethic complaints needs to be responded to? If there is
the subcommittee that was appointed by the chair of the committee looks at several things, whether or not the matter is frivolous, whether or not a hearing is required. They have not yet reported back on those 2 issues. When they do, if they say that it's not frivolous and a hearing is required, a hearing will be scheduled.
I understand that. I'm not asking you about that. I'm asking you about the process, the process, the protocol, the implementation of the protocol. If there is an issue with the implementation of the protocol, a situation, a challenge, are we able as the council to make any suggestion, reviews, or any recommendations on that at this time, based on the litigation that the city is having at this point?
I would say no.
All right, I would like to say this. Number one, City Attorney Hamilton already publicly demonstrated his bias in favor of his assistant city attorney, Ms. Gates. Therefore, he has a conflict of interest anyway. He's already tried to cover for her. He tried to protect her. He clearly stated at the last meeting that I was at, when I asked what discipline would be taken for Ms. Gaden deliberately violating the protocols. And he stated, as her supervisor, I tell you, no discipline will be taken.
And I was mistaken when I said that.
Okay, so you need to...
He just interrupted me. I was speaking. He jumped in. So he clearly demonstrated his bias in favor of his assistant city attorney. That's when I pointed out that she wasn't acting as a city attorney. She was acting as a community liaison, so he's irrelevant. He has no authority. He can't protect her. He can't make a decision whether or not she will be disciplined or not. The council agreed. The council said they would then review my complaint and give me a response. Yet now I'm being told about, once again, you're allowing the city attorney to manipulate the process.
I hear you, and I understand that that's how you feel. Again, I am bound by the legal counsel that I get. Whether I agree with it or not is at this point it has nothing to do with what I feel, because I need to be bound by the legal advice of that we get. That doesn't mean that once we are able, if we are able as the council to formulate an opinion and look into the implementation of the protocol, I still feel that at some point we got to do that. Whenever we are able to do it, I firmly believe that we need to look at that. It's just that at this time I am not able to formulate anything at this point.
All right, well, I have a question. Prior to me filing the complaint styled as an complaint for unethical conduct, I had already filed a complaint with the council about Ms. Gaden, and it wasn't styled that way. It was just a complaint. So how come the council didn't make any ruling or judgment on that complaint? That didn't have to go to the ethics committee. I didn't style it as an ethics complaint.
It was due to the litigation, right, Mr.?
So you're telling me that because I have I'm just asking you a question. So I just want to make sure I have a clear understanding. You're saying because I had a federal lawsuit for a violation of my civil rights, that somehow interferes with the council being able to address the community liaison complaint? That's what you're stating to me on the record publicly?
That's what I was...
The two things are separate issues. They don't even have anything to do with each other. All right, well, let me ask this. I predicted from the beginning, way before I even entered into this process, when you kept encouraging me, Council President, to follow the process. I already told you the process wasn't going to work. I already anticipated the results of the process. Told you that they would exonerate the officers, the internal affairs would exonerate the officers, and they did. I told you that the so-called independent hearing officer would then exonerate internal affairs, and he did. The same thing has now happened also in Mr. Tim McDougal's case. So you now have a pattern where they demonstrate a clear bias in favor of the police, the internal affairs, and against the complainants. Now he's stating that I'm supposed to go before some ethics committee. I read in the New Brunswick today where Ms. Bradshaw, who I believe is a representative of the city spokesperson or whatever.
Information officer for the city.
Right. I read where she stated, according to her, while ethics complaints have been received and reviewed in the past, none of them actually went before a full hearing. That shows that I've already anticipated they're going to determine my case is frivolous because they're part of the cover-up. They're part of the conspiracy that's been going on. Internal affairs covers for police. The independent hearing officer covers for internal affairs. And now the ethics board is going to continue to cover. This is the pattern and practice that's been demonstrated. Now, what I need to know is, what is the council going to do? You told me once I completed the process, if it demonstrated that there were problems, the council would do something about it. You haven't done anything about it.
And again, I haven't been able to do so because I was advised by council that at this time we're not able. But again, I'm telling you, and I know, I reiterate what I said. I am not, this is not the end for me. I believe that we need to do something. that we need to look at the protocol, the implementation, nothing to do with the cases, just the implementation. I firmly believe that we need to look at the way it was done. That's all.
Right, but you have other people who are going to come behind me, and they're going to get the same results I've gotten, because you haven't even determined a timeline for when anything's going to get to address this situation.
Because I was told that I am not able to address that situation because of the litigation that we have pending.
But my litigation could go all the way into 2015. Right now, according to my discovery schedule, we can go all the way into 2015. So if someone came behind me right now and needed to file a complaint and go through the internal affairs hearing review process, they're going to get the same results I got, because you haven't made any changes, and you're refusing to make any changes until what? Until after my litigation is over at the end of 2015? That's a whole nother year from now.
I completely understand your point, Mr. Shabazz, and again, the only thing I can tell you, I will continue as much as I can to the level that I'm able at this point, but I'm not just going to let it go. I'm going to continue trying to see until we are able to address it in the manner that it needs to be addressed. That's the only thing that I can tell you.
All right, thanks.